We're going places. We are going places. Welcome aboard, passengers. It is great to be seeing you all on this March 15th, on this Friday. Glad you're all here, getting you on the chat, testing out this whole YouTube new recording studio that they have, but kind of sucks, apparently from the first start, but let's go on. I got a couple of news to teach you all, tell you all what's going on. Let me see. I don't even know if we have some music going on, but let's get this going. So we got some house cleaning to do, some news. We've just reached 11,000 subscribers. We'll just keep going on to the next step, 20K, guys. We're getting there. This train has no brakes. So my old roommate has moved out back to Miami. My girlfriend has moved in, and so I have her poppers. Let me see if I can get this one guy over here. Everybody. There we are. It's a new star over here. Say hello, Hans. It's Han Solo. It's a Dacian that I got. Yeah, he's pretty cute. So he hangs around here whenever I'm doing work on my club or anything else that I'm doing for my own work. So he hangs around. So we got the new shirts, of course. Awesome. The mugs, we got that all there, and we changed up the Patreon. So we're making it a lot easier for everyone now to be a patron. You can now go ahead. It's a monthly charge rather than a per video charge, so it's going to be a lot better now, and everybody can be able to get in on that. So why we're here today, big announcement. I will be going to the Midwest High-Speed Rail Association meeting that's over in Chicago. So if you guys don't know what the Midwest High-Speed Rail Association is, they are the largest they're the largest high-speed rail association in the Midwest. They're the big guys over here. So the annual meeting is actually going to be coming up on the 23rd. I will be there. So if you want to hear me speak, if you want to meet me, be sure to go to Midwest High-Speed Rail meeting. I will be there for, you know what they say about saving the best for last, I guess. So that's what we're doing there. So if you guys want to meet me, you want to hang out, be sure to come over. We're going to have a good time. It's over in Chicago, and I'm living in Indiana, so I'm actually going to be over there. So it's going to be pretty fun, guys. Hope to be there, and we're going to have fun for sure. And it's going to be great. We're going to be talking about millennials in transit, about high-speed rail, and what our generation is going to bring to the pot. CTR Lee's over in Savannah. You in Savannah, Georgia, by any chance? 'Cause I love Savannah, Georgia. All right. So yeah, details below, guys. If you want to go ahead, I'm going to put the link right over here, and you can be able to see that. Now, we want to spend a little bit of time. We got about an hour or so. Let's go through the American Rail Club on the group, see what's being shared out there, and let's get around with some people because it's a little fun. Some articles over here to go through. So yeah, this was pretty silly here. Going back on the Hyperloop. Here we go again. The Hyperloop. Pittsburgh, Philly to Pittsburgh. The state government is now funding through the Pennsylvania Turnpike of $2 million in funding for a feasibility study. That's ridiculous. So I see Highcast Infrastructure. What's up, man? Last time I tried to get on the Patreon exclusive Google Hangout, I couldn't get in. Yeah, so I did try to do a exclusive Hangout for patrons out there. The problem was it was about 10 minutes in and nobody had arrived, so I cut it off early for then. But I will try to see if I can get it out at least a week's notice next time. So I will do that. Hopefully, I would probably do a hangout maybe for Saturday. Highcast. Yeah, it was just basically it was 10 minutes in, nobody was on, so my fault. It came in probably I didn't have enough notice on it, so we're gonna see if I can try to get something for this Saturday. So I'm gonna see if I can plan that out next Saturday. So it'll be actually the day of the Midwest High-Speed Rail Association meeting. We'll be talking about a special live stream. So there you go. You guys are gonna see me next Saturday. It's gonna be fun. And I do have another special episode planned out. Because really there's not really a way to get from Indianapolis to Chicago pretty easily, especially since Amtrak's Hoosier State only runs maybe 4 times a week. So yeah, it's gonna be a little hard. So that's why we're trying to find a different way. It's not a train, but you'll see. Let's see. So let's talk about this. This is stupid. Let me see if there's any questions on here. Is there any update on California high-speed rail? Actually, David, we're going to be talking about that because what's going on with California right now is a little bit concerning, and this is something that I've warned people for the longest of time about California, because what they're doing right now is, again, it's pretty disturbing. So Philly to Pittsburgh Hyperloop gets funding for $2 million. Feasibility stuff. This is ridiculous, guys. This is the problem with this, is because we're spending money, we're spending time, we're spending our energy, our thought on stuff that just isn't tried out. It's an experiment. That's what it is. It's just a fun little experiment. It hasn't even carried one passenger. One passenger has ridden on the Hyperloop, not one. And we're already spending money on this. Look at this. From the Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission has awarded a $2 million contract for a feasibility study on a cross-state Hyperloop tunnel with additional stops in Harrisburg and Wilkes-Barre, Scranton. Why? I mean, for you guys who are living in Pittsburgh, the guys who are living in Pittsburgh, you guys are enjoying your potholes? Because this is why you have it. This is why. Right here. This is insane. How this can happen. Let's see what everybody else is saying over here. If you're traveling Chicago to Indianapolis, the trains are too late and too early. Yeah, that's the problem. So it doesn't work with my schedule. So we're doing something. It's about the same price anyway. So if you guys ever heard of Turo for car rentals, hint, hint. And I've been kind of hinting at autonomous vehicles for a while. Big hint. Hyperloop doesn't need government funding. Well, what about that? This is what happens. Let me see. What else are you guys saying? April 2nd will be Passenger Rail Advocacy Day on the Hill. Andrew Carson is a major supporter of improvements expansion. Yeah, I'm liking some of his stuff here when it comes to supporting passenger rail. Really needs to be done. Let's see what else is on the club. Because, again, yeah, this stuff about the Hyperloop, that really got to me. All right, so this is one other article I wanted to talk about, is what's going on with the Trump administration right now. And I know a lot of us, myself included, supported and voted for Donald Trump because we did believe in, a bunch of other things. But one of the biggest platforms he ran on was for infrastructure improvement. We have to fix our roads, our bridges, our tunnels, our airports, our roads. And then we have news like this. Now, to be fair, this is not the first time. This is the second time this has happened right now in the Trump budget proposal, in which he has threatened to get rid of funding for long-distance Amtrak trains. For those of you that don't know, Amtrak makes money on the Northeast Corridor, California, and some other train services like in Chicago and the Auto Train. However, where they lose money is for long distance trains, and a lot of them to rural areas like places like Montana or other places where people don't really go, or some other services like, for example, the Silver Star, Silver Meteor from Miami to New York, mainly because the service is bad. Let's be honest, the service is bad. Nobody wants to pay for it, and they kind of lost us as customers, so we're taking the airplane over there. It's not worth it. Even Darius got over his fear of flying because Amtrak was so bad. Yeah, if you want to get people over the fear of flying, get them on Amtrak. that's pretty bad. So the thing is with this, Trump has also proposed to get rid of funding for also rural airports. I just forgot the name of the clause in which we go ahead and fund airports for rural airports and flights for basically nowhere to nowhere. No offense to anybody who lives in nowhere, but the thing is that, again, these government projects do cost a lot of money. Now, if we wanted to save money, we should look at the non-discretionary budget, because when people say that, oh, we spend so much on the military, that's on the non-discretionary budget. That little pie chart you see is a non-discretionary budget. They're not showing you the discretionary budget of how much we're spending on entitlements and stuff like that. That whole system is completely broken. So, again, we got to go ahead and change all that. But, again, to be really fair with this, Trump has proposed to cut the budget of Amtrak long-distance trains and say that Amtrak should focus on the services that it does well. So again, it's a fiscal responsibility move. He has also proposed in the same plan to cut funding for flights in rural areas. So again, he's trying to cut all of that. Places that don't make sense. That's what it is. So there we go. That's really what's going on there. So, again, this is a budget proposal for Congress to do. It doesn't mean Congress is going to do it. And most likely, Congress will not. Republicans, the last time when the Republicans had the House, apart from doing absolutely freaking nothing for the MAGA agenda, they basically didn't approve any of his proposals. So, again, this is probably not going to happen. What do you want, Hans? So this one is pretty good as well. So I'm going to show you this video here, because finally we're seeing some more news about the Avalia happening now. And this is pretty good. Let me see. Andrew Hurricane Trump budget reduces funding both for long distance trains and Northeast Corridor improvements. Terrible on rail issues and very anti-union. Actually, let's go to here, because actually... So we've been trying to get in contact with Elaine Chao's office for a while. Well, I've been trying to get in contact for a while. And I haven't heard anything except until now about Elaine Chao's, the Secretary of Transportation, by the way, of her thoughts on transportation. So let me go ahead, put this up so you guys can hear this.
Into curves to get as much speed as possible. Now, current Acela trains can go as high as 150 miles an hour along the Northeast Corridor, and they do tilt a bit, but rarely do they maintain that kind of speed.
They don't really tilt, but...
Amtrak today telling News 4 these next-generation trains are going to be rolling out in 2 years, and they should shave time off trips.
That's right.
Caroline Decker is the vice president of the Northeast Corridor service line. Listen to this thought that's being considered.
If you did a non-stop train, so that means you're eliminating your stops between here and New York, you could look at approximately a 2.5-hour trip time.
But there's still a lot of work to do on that plan. So why has it been so hard to get faster trains between D.C. and Boston?
I'll tell you
Elaine
what.
Chao is the U.S. Transportation Secretary.
You need a straight right-of-way in order to pick up speed.
Right.
And so for many of our communities who are clustered around the path of the tracks, it's difficult for them.
That's why tilting technology and smoother, more lightweight upgrade.
All right, so if you guys heard that, that was Elaine Chao again, Secretary of Transportation. Yeah, CTR Lee, we've been trying to get in contact with Elaine Chao's office to no avail. I sent a letter like 5 months ago. Still haven't heard back. Again, they could be swamped with emails and whatnot. I actually did get contacted back by the Obama office, but they said he was too busy and didn't want to and couldn't talk, but thank you very much. Didn't even get a bullet point on bullet trains, but hey, that's what it is. So again, this what's going on with Amtrak? I get it. It's good that they're doing the Avail of Liberty, and it's been needed that this has to happen. The big problem is that the real issue that there hasn't been a faster train in the Northeast is because there really needs to be a better track and better right of way. Again, that's why we interviewed the Northeast Maglev, because that will alleviate Amtrak and that will give a new option to the region on top of having this too. So that's pretty good. Let's see what's all the questions over here. Mick Mulvaney consulted with the Heritage Foundation to advise transportation portion of the mini budget. Yeah. So again, just some things going on. I'm kind of disappointed in the speed of what's going on with the Trump administration. I mean, not just the trains. I mean, a lot of people have been waiting for the wall, so he's kind of ticking off his base there. But again, let's see what happens later on in terms of transportation. Because again, it's going to be what's going on, what we're seeing in the industry. There's a lot more private investment, a lot more private pushes for getting actual transportation solutions to be working. Let me see. Here's a hypothetical question. Do roads or rails require more upkeep? Definitely roads. And the reason why is because, again, you have a higher contact area with rubber tires, more friction, and then again, that's the increase of so much traffic on there. Drivers aren't trained. Let's be honest. To get a driver's license in the United States is stupidly easy. So drivers aren't trained. You have frequent accidents, frequent destruction on the road. So there's a lot more maintenance needed for that. So that's what's going on with Avalia. Let's go on and see what else is on the group over here. And thank you all for joining tonight, because this has been pretty fun. I always have fun doing these live streams. It's great to get, to talk to you all and see your questions and whatnot. Hopefully what we can try to do is later on, we can probably do a Google Hangouts and probably get you guys like on phone calls and stuff like that, because that'll be great. Not boring stuff like C-SPAN, but, get some more funny things going in. Let's see what we got here. So proposed underground power line could bring Iowa wind turbine electricity to Chicago using railroad right-of-way for buried transmission lines. So that's pretty interesting. See what this is about. So this is from New York and Chicago Railroad. They're a pretty good group if you guys page if you don't follow them already. I do recommend you do. So this is pretty cool. So from Iowa over to Chicago, and getting in wind turbines, power from wind turbines, proposing to put the electric power lines underneath the rail lines so they don't have to fight for another right of way. That makes perfect sense. It does. Again, it's a little bit expensive because you have to go ahead and plow all that in, but for new railroads, that would probably make sense because, again, you have more of electricity transfer, you have more usage of that space. So, kind of interesting. I honestly think that it could probably be cheaper to just do it on top and then have electric trains, so you have a transfer line on there. That would probably make more sense. That would be great. Who posted this? It's the first... actually, I've watched Office Space for the first time. That's exactly how I felt when I was working at Cummins. And by the way, welcome aboard to the new members who are on Facebook, and you guys want to join us on the Facebook group. Again, it's run 24/7. You can be able to talk to me directly or anybody else on the group. About over 1,566 members on Facebook. Probably one of the most active rail advocacy groups. Actually, the most active rail advocacy group, to be honest. So you can go on there and check that out. We have a poster from India. Ratana Raj Parikh. I think that's your name. I hope I didn't butcher it. If I did, I apologize. Because India is doing a lot now, with especially with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He's doing a pretty good job in getting Indian rail lines over there. David Mitchell also. David Mitchell's been putting a lot of... I think you're in here too. On our stream. So again, it's pretty cool stuff that has been going on here. Okay, so this is where I wanted to talk about for California high-speed rail right here. So this is quite disturbing. Supervisors approve resolution supporting the end of high-speed rail project in Kern County. So for those of you guys who are not familiar with California, including myself, I looked up where Kern County is, and that is where Bakersfield resides in, because Bakersfield is the basically the chair for Kern County. So this is a bit of a problem, because if this resolution gets once this resolution is approved in a 4-1 vote, most likely because the County Board of Supervisors and the county itself was already ticked off at how long the project was going. Again, I think the California High-Speed Rail Authority did an awful job in planning this out. It doesn't matter how many times people keep saying, "Oh, we had to do it in the Central Valley first because it was easier to do it, and we had the most opposition there, so it'd be easier to do it." No, it made no sense. It made no sense, and we're paying the price for it long term. Not only is California paying the price for it, because now California may not even have the project, because if this keeps going, you're only going to have half a train going, and not even to Bakersfield. This is going to really cut into the debate and not give a good name for high-speed rail. And it's important that we get the news out there, but stuff like this really is a thorn right now. And this whole project has really become a thorn in the side. And it's not good. So what this could mean for the project, again, the project was just scaled down now to just connect Bakersfield to Modesto. They could have just started again from San Diego to LA, but it's no use crying over spilled milk at this point. It's pretty sad. Let's see what's going on in the comments over here. Problem with power lines above ground, they're exposed to the elements such as storms. That's true. If you wanted to do it the right way, you would go ahead and put it underground. But if you're doing electric trains and catenaries, doing it as a third rail isn't as efficient as having an overhead catenary. Let me see. Do not eat. The resolution was just to send a letter. It carries no force of law. Okay. Yeah, if anybody also has any time, go check out Do Not Eat's channel. He did a pretty good video on the Hyperloop. Although we probably have some differences in politics, but he did a pretty good job on there. And he definitely has a voice to listen to. So definitely do check that out. And thank you for joining us on the live stream, for sure. So yeah, if the resolution is just to send a letter, that makes a little bit more sense. Yeah, for sure. I will see if you can do a high-speed rail video. I'll check that out. Because again, we do need more voices out there to get us, especially us younger folks and millennials, to get involved with bringing high-speed rail, because this is our chance now to really fix the country, to really bring these solutions over here. Get something over. Should do like the Shinji meme right here. There we go. Screenshot that. So yeah, if this is just a resolution, okay. If this is just a resolution, but still, it means something that is 4-1. That's not good. Later on into this, again, it's just gonna cause more issues. So sort of like the resolution with the whole hate speech thing in Congress, it just doesn't carry any weight at this point. Let's see what else is going on. A lot more talk about the Trump budget. They're saying as if it ends the National Rail Network, as it's the end. It's just a budget proposal. It carries, again, this for sure carries no weight because Congress has to approve it. And Congress is now a Democrat majority. They're never going to approve that. Give me a break. There's a contest, it seems, in India for 100,000 rupees. I think that's rupees. I don't know. I'm not familiar with... yeah, I think that is rupees. So for any of you guys in India, to check that out, the project. What do you want, Hans? Come here. Come here, boy. There we go. He wants more screen time, doesn't he? There you are. Don't do anything silly now. No, don't roll that way. Let's see. So this is interesting here. China to invest $17 billion in the world's longest undersea rail tunnel in Finland. So for those of you guys who don't know about China and their One Belt, One Road plan, they're basically doing a lot of investments into overseas infrastructure projects. Trying to go ahead and get more involvement outside of China, and basically, long story short, they want to have more control over the rest of the world, which is why they're doing a lot of projects, especially in Africa, their form of colonialism there, in order to go ahead and get more power in those countries. But that's for another time. I'm also trying to get out a China video, hopefully by the end of this month, because that's very important that we talk about China and high-speed rail over there. Ken Tokyo asked, what happens to the Shinkansen project in Texas? That's still going on. So the new You gotta get on the desk, buddy. Come on. Here, get back on the bed here. There you are. Attaboy. He's cute. It's a cute doggo. So the project over in Texas is still going. So recently, the last action to happen with that was the Grimes County court case, and that of course happened that the county judge said that Texas Central Railway is not a railway. Of course, again, really the main reason why they want to say that is because they don't want to give eminent domain power to Texas Central Railway. Because if they do, Texas Central Railway can easier build that right of way in order to connect Dallas to Houston in 90 minutes with the 205 mile an hour Shinkansen N700. So that would make sense. So now this court case is probably it's already been appealed. It's going to move up to higher courts and higher courts. My hope for it is that it gets appealed all the way to the Supreme Court. Because number one, that's media attention for high-speed rail. That would be great if it were to become a Supreme Court case. Number two, it deals a complete blow to NIMBYism here. Because the Supreme Court will most likely vote against it because it's stupid. Even the Florida courts have been for Brightline. And speaking of, we got to go over to Brightline over here because there's been some important news about Brightline. So for those of you who are still living in Florida, and for us Floridians living outside of Florida, because reasons being, so for the FDFC, which is the Florida Development Finance Corporation, they were looking into opening up more requests for bonds for $2.7 billion in private activity bonds to build the private passenger railroad until another meeting. So they have they put this meeting into recess. And the problem is that, again, a lot of the fanfare for I don't know if they're getting enough support over there now, or if, because the opposition has died down a lot, and the opposition has basically quit at this point. There's still some opposition, but not as much as it used to be before. And the same thing sort of with support at this point. That there's not active support coming to these meetings, which needs to be happening more often. So if you guys are still in Florida, do see if you can go and contact Brightline, get involved with these meetings, get in front of the commissioners, get in front of the development board, and get this project moving forward. So it really does need to happen. So again, they're going funding through that way, which if you've been keeping up with Brightline, Virgin was looking to do, Virgin Trains USA was looking to go ahead and do an IPO, initial public offering, in order to raise capital for the project. Because again, rail is very capital intensive to start out with. But once it starts going, once the real estate is active, once the trains are in operation, in full operation between Miami and Orlando, that's where it's really going to move people forward. And move the company forward into actually making a profit. Because it works. It works in Japan. They do make a profit off the Shinkansen and off their regular rail service. You see this all over the world in places like Hong Kong and places like France or in Germany, where countries that do have working rail. So it does work. Let's see, we can go into the comments over here. Should Phase 2 of California High-Speed Rail go to Escondido or Oceanside? Again, I'm not too familiar with California. I've only been there maybe twice. Probably going to be going there sometime soon to go ahead and check out. And also have a business meeting to attend to as well. So trying to see if I can also do put in some high-speed rail. Get some ARC stuff in there at the same time. Really, honestly, again, California High-Speed Rail authorities should have started between San Diego to LA, or should have started from either San Francisco or LA. It would have gotten much more support and would have been a lot better in the long term. There's no doubt about that. Ken Tokyo, do you think strong car culture as a symbol of freedom, independent, and individualistic oriented practice in the U.S. causes this anti-train sentiment? It's definitely a part of it. And the reason why is because a lot of Americans feel that the car is freedom, when America was never a car culture to begin with. We originally had rail. And automobiles, rail, they all coincide with each other since the turn of the 20th century and into almost about the middle of the the middle of the 20th century. So it was about that time that General Motors came in after World War II, after the highway plans, after all the funding that came in for that, started to change the culture of America. It became more of car culture, and that's when cars in the 1950s started, having a model every year. The only company not doing that and kind of changing the game is Tesla, in which they're not releasing a model change every single year. All the cars are basically the same for 5 years. So that's really what the choice. Now, millennials are not into cars as much. And I'm putting up this presentation that I'm going to be doing for the Midwest High Speed Rail Association. So for you guys who are not able to attend the meeting, I will be hopefully recording the speech and recording the presentation, so you guys will be able to see it. Most millennials, as close to 60% of them, don't want to be in their car, and they feel it's a waste of time. They'd rather be doing something else more productive. And I love cars. Okay, I love cars. I mean, look at the stuff that I have over here. I mean, there's die-cast cars right next to me. I got that's a Veneno, beginning of villain, like the Gumpert Apollo. It's one of my favorites that nobody knows about. It's the Gumpert Apollo. Love that. Oh, and then this Bugatti Chiron that I made out of Lego. So again, I love cars. I love cars. I hate traffic. I hate the fact that I don't have another way to get from one place to another. I would like to take a train. That's why I started this. We need another option. There is no way that we can be able to survive as a country in the long run, economically, infrastructurally, or any other way without another option to get around the country. It's just that simple. I mean, if you look at China and you look at what they've done with high-speed rail, the World Bank did this. They did a study where they looked at the Guangdong region. That's southeastern China. That's close to Hong Kong. The productivity of the region, because of high-speed rail, the productivity dropped 10%. Now, that may not seem like a number, but when we're talking about billions of dollars, probably trillions, because it is China, they're doing a lot of money there. We're talking about 10%. That's a lot of money. And really, politicians should be hearing that more. I keep telling them this. All right? And that's when things start to change. When I tell people 10% of a productivity increase. And then what it's done for other countries. Again, it's look at San Francisco. Let's actually bring up that article. I'm going to find that article. San Francisco, California high-speed rail and housing. This was interesting. These articles coming out. Could high-speed rail ease California's housing crisis? See Japan. And I was doing this because I was looking at, well, how much does it cost to rent a flat, or how much does it cost to rent a one-bedroom apartment in Japan? Pretty not a bad cost. It's about maybe close to about $1,000 US, $1,200, which is about average as you get to a city. Now that's a lot more than a lot less than cities like Miami, cities like New York, and especially cities like San Francisco, because San Francisco right now is ground zero for the housing crisis in this country. San Francisco has become the number one most expensive place to live because of the housing crisis in San Francisco. There's so many homeless there. The jobs are so much into the tech industry, and these the people that are working in Google's or Apple or any other Silicon Valley tech industry tech company, they're getting paid a lot. The problem is, for what they're getting paid for, you can be a software engineer getting 3 figures, and you're still going to be living in a garage with 3 other of your peers working at Google because the housing prices and the pricing of anything is too expensive. That city is broken. And again, this is a reason. This is a way to fix it. And going around Tokyo is pretty cheap as a city to get around. Again, this is the biggest city in the world, the largest, most densest city in the world, most populous city in the world, and things are cheap. You can get a bottle of water for 70 cents US dollars, and I mean, you can go around, get on the train, hop on the train, go on the Shinkansen, go to another city, go to another region. It's that simple. This is the freedom that's afforded because of high-speed rail. People don't understand that. This is freedom. This is freedom. Being stuck in traffic, like the opening scene in Office Space, is not freedom. That's prison. So we need to help this. So kind of rambled on there, but let's go to the comments. Jeff Frilla says, fun fact, Houston, one of the most car-centric cities, has a train on the city seal. Exactly. Because again, most of the Western United States was established because of trains. Indianapolis, the nickname for it is Railroad City. The first Union station in the world was in Indianapolis. If you live anywhere west of the Mississippi, it's because of railroads that has been able to populate this section of the United States. If you're living in places that are more built up, South Florida would not exist without Henry Flagler, the Florida East Coast Railroad. Okay, this is the story of most cities in the United States. Every city in the United States, major city, has grown or has come to existence because of rail. This is what works. So it's a good thing you put that there. Dan 1022. As much as I want to drive in the future, I prefer using transit to go to work or school because the stress from school or work will worsen with traffic. Exactly. Most of us don't want to be stuck in traffic. We're wasting time, and most of us young folks we do want another option. Yes, Ken Tokyo. Yes, it's better as a risk management to have multiple options for transportation. Exactly. David Mitchell, if we take the people who support airlines out of the government and work with the airlines and went into the rail system, rail projects will probably get done. That's a tough one to do, man. It's the way that our political system is structured. Unless you start taking tanks up there and start doing post 1991 Soviet style coup d'etats, nothing's gonna happen to change the system. It's up to us to go ahead and promote these projects in a peaceful manner. That's what we're trying to do. Did you hear Amtrak is going to study a corridor service between Oklahoma City, Wichita, and Newton? They also expressed interest in a new service from Twin Cities to Duluth. That's from David Pasquale. Yeah, I did hear about that. So this is stuff that's happening here in the Midwest. It's pretty good, and with Amtrak as well. So the thing is with these feasibility studies, we just get stuck in study hell. So that's a problem that we need to get away from. Let's see what other questions we got here. Let's see. Aren't there people who commute from Bend, Oregon to San Francisco because of high housing prices? Yes, there are. That's how bad housing is in San Francisco. There are people literally going 2 or 3 hours from work, or from another state, 4 or 5 hours from another state to go and work in San Francisco. Again, they're getting paid a lot, but we're wasting so much time in traffic. I don't know. I guess they're going on Tesla autopilot from there. Makes the drive a little bit easier, but maybe it'd be better if they have a train. Because again, the trains allow people to be able to live in another part of the city, walk downstairs, go a block, get to a train station, and in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, even with a transfer, you're to where you need to go and just walk another block. That's how it was. That's how it was when I went to Tokyo and anywhere in Japan. It was that simple. Any major city in Japan had that. Unless there's a government subsidy, then it may not happen. We're talking about the corridor study, Ruiz Railroad. CTR Lee, we will need monetary incentives. That's correct. United and American Airlines actually supportive of Texas Central High-Speed Rail as it means they can divest their resources from short-haul flights to more profitable long-haul flights. Yeah, as time gets on, I think airlines are going to be less of a problem. Again, the biggest problem, I think, is the road lobby and NIMBYs. That's the biggest problem, and also ignorance, because if people don't know about high-speed rail, we're not going to get people into high-speed rail. So we need to get that done. Let me see. Developing a high-speed rail network in China means they're not dependent on foreign companies to provide passenger aircraft for domestic travel. Yeah, and China is also developing their own airplanes and developing... they stole the technology and they're using it themselves in reverse engineering. That's what they did. Again, I'm trying to maybe plan a trip to China to see what's going on. Again, I just don't want to get my organs sold and left alive. Let's see what else we got over here. Chicago is the railroad heart of America. Yeah, Chicago is the big hub for connecting rail in the United States. Because if you connect Chicago to New York, if what Rick Carnish was saying from the Midwest High Speed Rail Association, in 4 hours to get from Chicago to New York, heck, that's like taking a road trip from New York to someplace in Jersey with traffic. I mean, to get from Chicago to New York, that's what closer to within commuting time. That will really boost the region. One of the two biggest cities for financials for Fortune 500 companies. That'll be incredible. Have you heard of Chicago's once proposed suburb-to-suburb metro service? Yeah, I have heard of that. Because there's some people from Chicago over here, and they were talking about that when I was at a bar close to here the other time talking about that. Yeah, it would have made getting around so much easier, for sure. Condition 1B, I'm not going to go to the rest of your name, bro. Can Brightline trains be extended? Because I think 4 cars with 2 power cars is a little excessive, and the platforms took long enough for 1, maybe 2 cars. They look like ScotRail 4 cars, high-speed trains. So the reason, again, why Brightline is doing that is, number 1, it saves cost. Having the 2 power trains means they can only have one on or one off, or both run at the same time, and they don't have to switch the trains around like Amtrak has to. So again, that's a lot cheaper to run that in the long run. And with 4 cars, that's less weight to pull. At this point, since Brightline isn't running service between Orlando, they did say they're going to have 6 cars when they start doing those services between Orlando. So at that point, then we'll probably be able to see the modularity increase for Brightline. And that's the way it is. So they did a good job with that. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, okay, so CTR Lee, yeah, you got my question there. Perfect. Ken Tokyo, you've been putting good questions. By the way, I want to say arigato gozaimashita to the Japanese who have been watching our video on the Shinkansen. If you guys haven't seen this, an awesome person went ahead to go and subtitle the whole entire... Actually, if you search up Shinkansen now, we're one of the first videos that comes out there. Hyperloop killers first. Well, there we are. Yeah. Bullet train. So, if you actually check the video...
or Shinkansen system is one of mankind...
Yep. Japanese subtitles. So, that's why we've been getting a lot of people now from Japan. Close to 73% of the videos views are now from Japan. So, again, I'm really proud that, this has been able to be shown over there and to be getting the support. It really does mean a lot to me to bring our 2 countries together to work together on this. It really does mean a lot. So thank you again for the support. Arigato gozaimashita, and hope to keep doing this on. So to answer your question, what is the best approach to change people's mindset on high-speed trains while vast majority of Americans don't have positive view of public transportation? That's what we're doing, is bringing this information to people. The internet has afforded us a way in this generation to be able to share this information, to be able to connect with people without even having to travel. So I wasn't able to go to Japan until recently in the last years. But for 5 years before, I've been promoting bullet trains, or promoting, or saying that we do need better high-speed rail service. And back in 2014 actually, was when I started the High Speed Rail America Club, now American Rail Club, to go ahead and bring this forward. Now, I didn't know about what Japan had. It was thanks to the internet and research papers I was able to look into that I was able to find out this amazing service that they had and see what we can bring over here to this country. So this is what we're doing here. In 2020, the most use of bandwidth for the internet will be video. Most people will be using video to gain information. This is why we're on YouTube, guys. This is why we're gaining the amount of views that we're getting. This is why our channel is starting to grow now. Look at this, 11,000. Well, we're at 11,100. This is a little bit back. I don't know why. If I go to Creator Studio, it says that. But this is the reason why people are now starting to change. This is why we could even be able to get in CBS 8 in San Diego. If you guys saw that, let me see if I can find that. CBS 8 San Diego. Here we are. This is why we're able to get on the news now. People are now beginning to learn about this. Are beginning to learn about bring her. Oh, by the way, before I go on, did anybody else check this out? The memes write themselves. It says Soylent on the Hyperloop. Soylent actually, they actually have gone ahead to sponsor this Hyperloop project, or this pod, whatever it is. The memes write themselves. Soy boys are actually building Hyperloop pods. You can't make these memes up. But you know what's the real Chad? The real Chad is this dude right here, knocking this whole down. Because the truth needs to be told.
Believe me, I think the Hyperloop is actually inferior technology to what we already have. Demetrius Via.
So it's because of this getting the word out there for what we've done in YouTube is now the media starting to pay attention to us. The media is starting to pay attention to all of you. This is what's going on right now. Because we've been able to get this out. We've been able to get this out to people. We've been able to start the conversation. And of course, we got the haters, but who cares? The haters are fun. I take their comments in the morning when I have nothing else better to do, just to wake up. I need to laugh. I read some of these comments on the Hyperloop video. A lot of them are just like, Elon Musk, trolls or whatnot. And again, I love Elon Musk. Okay, I wouldn't be looking at getting a Tesla if I didn't like the guy or whatnot. But he's not even involved with the Hyperloop. Okay, he's doing his own thing with the Boring company, which is dumb already. To be building such a stupid system. I mean, to be building highways underground. Did anybody take for account the time it's going to take to get a car into that, then take it all the way down the elevator shaft, and then start putting it on this system? That takes too much time. You're going to have such a backlog of people waiting in line to get downstairs into the stupid tunnel. It makes no sense. Just build a subway. Build more transit. It's simple. Again, yeah, Do Not Eat 01, he's on here. Go check out his channel. Go check out his video on Elon Musk's loop-de-loop, because again, it makes no sense. And what he was talking about, I've heard about this AM, FM, actual machines, and I don't want to get the demonetized by YouTube, but effing magic. Yeah, there's a difference between the two. I heard about that when I was studying mechanical engineering. Then I switched over to business because I was becoming crazy going into mechanical engineering. Let's see what else we got on here. Have you heard about them planning to build a high-speed rail line from Atlanta to Georgia to Charlotte, North Carolina? Yep, that's Virgin Trains USA. This is the stuff that's happening now because we've been able to get the word out, and people are now starting to see the reality that high-speed rail is an actual viable solution. Hyperloop is not.
He says current maglev technology can push trains more than 300 miles per hour.
400 miles an hour. But
and he says there are safety concerns with Hyperloop systems, including earthquakes.
I do gotta hand it to David He did a very good job in reaching out to me and getting this done in the time he did. So thank you very much, David, at CVS 8 for doing this, because, again, it's finally time that the media starts getting the truth out to people and we start learning about this, because it really means a lot. Jeff Frillet, I'm not going to repeat it on here because, again, don't want to get demonetized, but yeah, it makes sense, buddy. Can't spell Hyperloop without the word hype. That's what it is. That comment on Hyperloop video has about 5 times as many likes in every video on my channel. Yeah, and the thing is, we're still at 83 likes. Let's go to the Hyperloop video. Actually, we have about 5 minutes here. Let's go on and talk to some people over here. We're gonna have some fun with the comments. This is gonna be fun. There we go. This one over here. Hyperloop won't work in India. All the people clinging to the train roofs and sides will suffocate in the tube. Okay. You don't get what the business model of Hyperloop is. It's not about transportation. It's about fundraising, which I think, yeah. AJ Brandt, yeah, the American Rail Club isn't biased at all. Yeah, we are the American Rail Club. It's not saying that we're being biased. We did give information on here about the Hyperloop. We have our facts and figures. We did read it. Yeah, I mean, makes sense. And yeah, everybody keeps saying, yeah, we did use the "We Are Number One" song there. So that was pretty fun. Let's look at the newest comments. I have comments rating for review. 3,081 comments, guys. This has been our best video yet. So let's see. A refill doesn't mean exit; it means arrival. Devil's in the details, they say. For guys, you guys don't know, Arrivo was the Hyperloop company that went defunct because their CEO was kind of kooky. Taking an axe into the office, chopping down walls. That's... But Arrivo is leaving, so they're more departing. So Arrivo, more like departed. There we are. Let's see. Hyperloop is just another gas-powered television. That's a good way to put it. Gas-powered television. Laugh my ass off. American Rail Club is hating. Jake N. Who's Jake N? Who are you? You don't even have 0 subscribers. You don't even have an avatar. What do I care? Let's see, why are these test steel on wheels? I don't understand why this video is asking that. The train is in power like Japan's maglev, has coils on. Okay, so Hyperloop has said multiple times that this is a linear induction motor. Linear induction motor means it's all the way through. Unless they're planning to do... Because it's changed around from the alpha document. The alpha document of how Musk and the SpaceX team originally put it out is that the Hyperloop will be suspending on air skis, not levitated by maglev. It would be suspended by air skis, and then maglev propulsion would push it through. And because there would be close to a 0-degree coefficient of friction, because the vacuum tube would be evacuated, and you'd have the fan in the front moving away any other air through that. And of course, there's no need for aerodynamics if there's no air pressure inside. It'll just basically be pushing the tube through, and since it'll just be traveling at x velocity, continuing on. That's simple physics. All right, that's kinematic physics. The problem is that now they have gone away from the air skis, and they're just using maglev propulsion and magnetic levitation. So it is essentially a maglev plus the cost of vacuum pumping out a tube. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You're spending twice the amount of money to go slower. This is what they've done. You're paying twice the amount of money to go slower. Why? That's inferior technology. Let me see. Of all the points, that's this Vivek Anand. I would tell you to go to another comment that we had on here about some of our friends, but of all the points raised, I find it funny how easily one can claim that the whole concept is flawed. It is flawed. If you're not ready to do the research, I think we did research. Plenty of research. and develop the technology, then of course you'll always find ways to declare it bogus. By the way, there's a big difference between a maglev and a hyperloop, just so you know. And Hyperloop will be the maglev killer. He just says that like, and Hyperloop will be the maglev killer. Not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Hyperloop's gonna kill itself at this point. Hyperloop killer is the Hyperloop. That's gonna be the funny thing. Just say hype, no loop. By the way, maglev is originally a German invention, more than 100 years old. Yep, you're correct about that. The reason why I said it in the video that it was Japan is because, again, the SC maglev has been in testing for 50 years. But originally, if you've seen our video on what is maglev, all about maglev, we talked about that it was originally the Germans invented that, and also the Germans invented electric rail too. So, and the car, and those Germans. It's funny that some Japanese people think that Hyperloop is the SC maglev killer. I wonder which one away. By the way, does a Hyperloop capsule have any lavatories? That's a good one. There's no bathrooms on the Hyperloop. How does anybody get to that? So you're disparaging Hyperloop in the same way oil and OEMs disparage Tesla? This is based on facts and figures. That's what we're basing it on. Also, Tesla exists. There's actual products. I can go ahead and get my Tesla. I can order one, get it. You cannot order a Hyperloop. Nobody can go on a Hyperloop. So yeah, there's a big difference there. I mean, actually, I'm gonna put that. Can I order my Hyperloop online right now? American Rail Club checks out. We'll put a check mark on there. There we are. Hyperloop equals Fool's Loop. That sounds like a good cereal. There we are. There, just for fun. Hyper dumb. Yeah, Neville 6000. He's also on the group. I actually put on here. Demetrius, why didn't you mention or show the sub shuttle from the 1973 Gene Roddenberry TV movie plot Genesis 2? That's what the Hyperloop reminds me of. Because we'd be going where no Trekkie has gone before. Nobody likes Genesis 2. Nobody does. That's like one of those things. That's like Highlander 2. But for Trekkie fans, if you've watched the original series of Star Trek, Gene Roddenberry wanted to make a sort of a Star Trek 2 and started with Genesis 2. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we're kind of over limit here. We're at 9:03. I'm glad. We got a pretty good showing for what it is right now tonight at this time for people coming out. So it's been an hour right now so far. Any other questions? Let's have at it. Got time for one more. Miss you too, whoever you are, Noodle Juice. Let's see if we have another question in here. To be honest, the Hyperloop's least practical aspect is the frequency. If you just turned it into a maglev vac train, it would make a lot more sense. That's why do not eat. Yeah, that's the problem with the Hyperloop. Again, to be having a max capacity per hour of 1,000 people, or close to 1,000 people, when one Shinkansen can take over 1,300 people, you can have 13 of those in an hour. So again, that's about 13,000 people you're taking. It makes no sense. And by the way, steel wheel trains still have a ways to go. They're starting to up now the operating speed of a lot of steel wheel trains around the world. In the next 10 years, they'll probably be going at a max speed of 250 miles an hour. Now, France was able to get the TGV back in 2005 up to a top speed of 357 miles an hour. So that's about 10 or 20 miles an hour shy of what the maglev can do. Steel wheel trains are still here. They're still going to be here. Again, it's possible that we can start seeing regular conventional high-speed rail going at speeds of 300 miles per hour regularly in the next 10, 20 years. So it can happen. Let me see. Highcast infrastructure. Someone in the comments of the Hyperloop video claimed that you compared 20 N700s to one Hyperloop capsule. 20 Hyperloop cabs. No, these people, I don't know what they are, and a lot of people that I see with that are so much into the Hyperloop. I mean, come on, half of them don't even know math real well. It makes no sense. Let me see. Highcast infrastructure. Do you plan on doing a 2-hour live stream? Probably going to be closing out at this point. Got about a couple minutes left and just seeing if there's any more comments. Then we're going to close it off in about 2 minutes. TV Master 89. How are you single? No, I'm not single. I don't know why you're asking that. Bro. Yep, Highcast infrastructure. Got that right. Daniel C. What if we implemented a network akin to the Akita Shinkansen, where it's a hybrid regional network and high-speed rail? That's something that will work very well here, especially in the places, more rural areas like in the Midwest or in the Southeast. It will work really well because, again, you have that you have that availability in order to reach people and connect them to larger urban areas. So it's really great if we can have that. Hello, CRSW Rail fan. How you doing? Got a lot of highs here. What about rail service from Chicago to Dubuque or Janesville? Doesn't seem feasible for HSR. Doesn't, and those those smaller cities and towns, probably more conventional rail, unless they're in between towns, between a larger major city. That would make sense. So between Indianapolis to Chicago, a stop in Lafayette would make sense. From Indianapolis to Louisville, a stop here in Columbus, Indiana would make sense. And so on and so on. Between major cities is where you have those stops. And it grows those cities, by the way, in productivity, in population, and in the right ways. Let me see. Yeah, it should be presented. So Daniel C. said, I think this is how it should be presented to regional state governments rather than a straight-up TGV avant-garde plan. Yeah, and again, it was a lot easier for France to be able to build their high-speed rail system because they have a smaller country and a much more centrally planned country where you have the capital closer to the middle of the country. Now, again, it's a lot easier to go ahead and build out from there, from Paris to Lyon and, the rest of the other country. So it's easier to do that. From here in the United States, since we have different regions that have different central cities, that's where you have difference coming in. So like, for example, in the Southeast, Atlanta, Orlando, those would probably be the two major hubs. New York would probably be, of course, the one for the Northeast corridor. Chicago, Indianapolis would probably be the major two. Chicago probably being the bigger hub for the Midwest. That's how it works. You're going to have larger cities and hubs. Then once those hubs are created around the United States, is to have those hubs connected now through high-speed rail. So that's the thing. You connect in with high-speed rail, regional trains, then connect to other regions with high-speed rail. It's a very simple system once you put it in plan like that. Because if you start going out, we're going to do this in 10 years, and you start doing a whole Green New Deal, people are going to look at you and say, what are you doing? To think that you're going to do that in 10 years, it takes a multi-step plan to do it. And focus. We don't have that. Let's see. Gustav Piratova, I'm really proud of all the work you're doing. I want you to go more mainstream. I want more people to take you serious as I do. I always take the Shinkansen every time I go to Japan. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. And again, it's thanks to all of you guys. Because again, this is a movement of all of us. It's called American Rail Club. It's not called it's not Demetrius Villa channel. It's not the me channel. This is all of you guys. It's a club. You're all part of the club. This is what we are. Bringing this idea from dream to reality. And let me see. Can high-speed rail work inside major metro areas? To connect major metro areas, yes. As transportation within a metro area, it doesn't make any sense. Let me see. Someone says, I want to set up your office look easily so you look as sharp as you actually are. Yeah, I'm sure. So again, things are a lot kind of in flux around here. So again, my girlfriend just moved in, getting things in order, trying to see actually my old roommate's room actually changed into an office, so we're gonna go ahead and probably put some more stuff in there, make it look a little bit better. Probably get a ring light around this camera. By the way, thumbs up if you like this new camera, C9 920 Logitech, pretty good camera. So hopefully that works. Rory's room. Speaking of the Green New Deal, do you support it? I like parts of it. Do I support the deal? No, I think it's ridiculous. It's too much of a manifesto. It's just a resolution to get things be done. Girlfriend be interested in appearing on the show? Probably would. Probably gonna see her in some of the next videos I'm going to do. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do that. Let's see. Something more similar to the teachers I used to have in my public transportation class at the Arts Center in Pasadena. Check them out. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, if you send me some links to that Gustav, that would be cool. Let's see. Hopefully HS2 here in England will work and not cost more than it's already going to be. Oh, okay, see. You're in merry old England there. Perfect, across the pond. See, so we're getting people from all over the world in support of this. So again, it's not just America that wants to see us succeed. The world wants to see us succeed, guys. Again, we're not in this alone. This is a world. Yeah, this is a world movement to fix up America's infrastructure. Yeah, thank you, Gustav. Please send me those. You guys are waking up more. I was about to close this off in like 5 minutes. If we're going more into questions here. Let's see. David Mitchell, my teacher said rail in the U.S. is dying, and I know for a fact that's not true. Yeah, I don't. Be careful with all the stuff that your teachers say, especially in public schools. I don't know where they get half their information from. And the thing is, a lot of them are just kind of old and don't really care. So yeah, no offense to teachers. It's a hard job. Pretty underappreciated, but still. I don't know why a teacher would say rail is dying in the U.S. Rail has only been increasing. That's a fact. Amtrak's numbers have been increasing. If most urban rail systems have been increasing in their ridership. That's ridiculous. When is the HSRA meeting and where? So again, big news that's going on. I will be at the Midwest High Speed Rail Association annual meeting. Again, I'm going to put the link over here. It's March 23rd. From 8:30 to 3 p.m. in Chicago, in Maggiano's, 516 North Clark Street. That's a little bit north of the Loop. So here we are. Please stop. Please join us. There we are. So again, please join if you can. There's special pricing for students, which most of you are. So please go ahead and do that. Show your support. Show that yes, young people are interested in seeing high-speed rail happen because we do need to be there. Even young, old, whoever it is, come in. Show support. Let's get this done. Let's talk. I would love to meet you guys. I love talking to you guys, and some of you I give it my number to. Been able to talk. It's interesting to hear your stories, and I learn a lot from all of you. That's the reason why we're doing this. Excuse me. Let's see what else can we do here. How can we support more nascent HSR companies? Again, get out there, get involved in your transportation board, see what projects are being done in your area. Support the ones that are already here. Brightline, Texas Central, those are the big two ones that are happening. Support those. Northeast Maglev, that's another big one because if that gets done, and again, that technology already exists for 375 mile an hour maglev trains. The ones for the Northeast will be running at an operating speed of 311, but again, they can go faster. So we can have that available to us. Let's see. Thank you, David. For sure. Thank you for the support and helping us out, and you and your fiance. Thank you so much. All right. Highcast infrastructure. What changes could be made to Transport Central or the ARC Facebook group? Maybe we can start getting a little bit. I don't know. Probably get some more people. I don't know if you guys want to put some more information of what you guys have any suggestions for that. Check out our Discord. Transport Central Highcast is there, putting it on. I haven't been able to go on Discord because I've been, working like crazy. And every time I restart my computer, I don't have Discord that starts up with it. I used to when I was in college and had nothing else better to do but play video games and Battlefield and Overwatch all day. But now I don't. Will you do a vlog of the Midwest High-Speed Rail meeting? Yes, I will. So I will be recording. Hopefully I can go ahead and be able to take the presentation and put it out here. Probably going to get some multiple cameras so we can be able to get that and put it out on here. Because I always try to go ahead and record every single presentation that I've done. I've done some, let me see if I can find that, West Palm Beach leadership. Some of the ones, yep, here we are. That's odd. Somebody took my video and put it out there. Okay, well, you see, it means it's a good thing when people start doing that. So it's only got 5 views. I'm not gonna go after it, but still kind of funny though. When people start copying your videos on YouTube and start posting them out there, that's funny. So yeah, this was a speech I did, kind of similar to what I'm doing. Of course, a lot more robust of what I'm gonna be doing. Holy crap, I look so young in there. How long has it been that I've been doing this? 2016. 2016. Whew. Doesn't seem that long ago in reality, but still. Oh, this is older footage. This is from 2015. That's why. Yeah, because I found this footage. I was looking for some older footage to put together a video, and I found this. I'm like, oh, great. Orlando. So people are gonna take this, okay, versus a car versus a plane. Is it gonna be more convenient? And most of the time between from 300 miles to 600 miles is a sweet spot for where high-speed rail can work. Yeah, there you go. See, so that's the whole important part, guys. We have to get out there. We have to go and be able to be involved in the community, because high-speed rail again is connecting your community. You have in rail in general, whether it's streetcars, whether it's subways, whether it's maglev, whatever it is. It's about getting involved in your community, because transportation will help the community in order to bring more people. Let me see. Yeah, good speech, very knowledgeable on high-speed rail. I've only been doing this for a while. I hope I'm knowledgeable at this point. So again, it's important to do this, and we have to keep pushing this forward. We have to. Yep. So I think we're going to be able to cut it out for here. Thank you guys so much. We're actually going to go ahead and do the next live stream on Saturday. So not this Saturday, the next Saturday. So after the Midwest High-Speed Rail meeting on the 23rd, probably go ahead and sometime at night, I'll go ahead and put out the final time. Probably be around 8 o'clock. Probably the same time will work. And go ahead and present and talk about what we're doing. So just be sure to keep putting this out, keep getting this out, and keep telling people. Keep showing people our channel, because that's, again, when people learn about what we do, learn about the options that are available that we can be able to present, that's when things start to change. Things will begin to change once we do that. So again, show your friends some of the videos we've done. Show them the one on the Hyperloop. Show them the one on the Northeast Maglev. Show them about the Shinkansen. Really, the Shinkansen video, I think, is probably the most important one, because people need to see the system in place, working right now. That's really what the game changer is. When people see that we have another system working, that there's actually a real solution out there, it changes the whole game. It changes everything, and it changes the perspective. That's the power of the internet. That's the power of what we're doing here with the American Rail Club. We've been able to push this to become a global movement. We are the #1 advocate group for bringing bullet trains, better transportation, and high-speed rail into the United States. It's a total transit transformation. That's what we're doing. All right, everyone, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for supporting this movement. Also, be sure to check out our Patreon as well. I've changed it up so you only get paid, only get charged now monthly. So it's a lot easier now to go ahead and support us. And by the way, we're also running a special. If you go on there, we're probably going to be doing one-on-ones with some of you guys if you want to, so we can talk about high-speed rail. Also, for those who go ahead and support us at certain levels, we're also going to give you a free swag, like t-shirts and stuff like that. So it's pretty fun. We're getting this out there. We're going to be doing it. Yeah, for sure. So check us out. I think it's on the Grand Class level that we're doing. So we'll love to. I'd love to hear you guys and what you think about high-speed rail and what you want to see. So thank you all, everybody, whether you're from America, whether you're from Japan, whether you're from the UK, whether you're from India, no matter where you are, thank you for supporting this movement. Thank you for getting America back on track and the world. It's about making American railroads great again. That's what we're doing. I'm actually going to order a cap for that. So if that comes in, I'm actually going to put that on sale for you guys so we can get that going. We're going to do it. Yep. Thank you all. Have a great night. We'll see you all next time. The train has arrived. Take care.